play FPS games. FPS games. What should I tell you? Esports team, even they've even done to the point where esports rewards are going to be Bitcoin. My name is Kobachi back from Accra, Ghana, and thank you for tuning in.
So Kobachi, we're going to keep it loose. It's just us talking, and our main purpose is to introduce some of the local people who are in the gaming world, and so that the larger public gets a better view of what's actually going on, who's in it, how they're doing, and what's just what the scene is like. So why don't we just start with some of the basics, man? Tell us a little bit about the scene in Ghana from what your role has been in it.
Okay, so the gaming community in Ghana is actually quite big, and people don't know that. And there's a lot of talent here. People, the what I've seen from the Ghanaian community is that most of them are just so obsessed with FIFA and Mortal Kombat, and that's fine. Because when you were younger, everyone grew up on basically playing FIFA 2002, FIFA 2003, FIFA 2004. So it's just that transition of people seeing that there's other games like an FPS game, and people find FPS games so difficult. But this past few years, I have seen a lot of people get more and more into FPS gaming. So with that being said, I feel like there is a pretty solid foundation of gamers in Accra. Not a lot. I would say there are a lot. Probably like I can say there's like a little over like 1,000. I can say there's little over 1,000 gamers in Ghana. So I could say that there's a solid base of gamers in Ghana. But also
when you talk about FPS, what is that exactly for?
FPS is first person shooter. They call them a first person shooter. So
those are the Call of Duty type games.
Call of Duty type games where you're only seeing the gun. Yes, that's basically what I play. I've played every single game, but I'm basically main first person shooter games.
Okay.
So in Ghana, the genre of gamers are just FIFA, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, just fighting game. It was until recently that people actually are falling in love with FPS games. So I'm trying to show Ghana that the future of esports, if they do decide to take esports seriously, they should just go away a bit from the FIFA side. Just leave the FIFA side alone. Leave the Mortal Kombat side alone. Because I give them effort because I'm always seeing tournaments in Ghana. Tournament this, tournament that, tournament this. But it's always the same thing. FIFA. And the top tournaments right now in the world are first-person shooter games. No one really plays FIFA anymore. No one really plays Mortal Kombat anymore. But the thing is, are Ghanaians or are my people willing to actually want to take FPS games seriously?
Well, talk about the differences between the two in terms of what you have to bring to the table as a gamer.
FIFA, I would say everyone knows about FIFA. Everyone has played FIFA in their life. Okay, that's perfectly normal. Now, FIFA is a game where people love football. Obviously, people love football. They're like this. They're gonna play FIFA. They're gonna do that. But Call of Duty is a whole different ball game. Call of Duty is there's a whole different level of skill set that you actually need to play the game. But what I've seen so far from people, the main issue why people don't play Call of Duty is just the whole learning curve, the whole learning experience. Because obviously, as a guy, man, you as a gamer, if you're a true gamer, you already have a competitive nature, meaning that anything you do, you want to be on top, right? But you can't do that with Call of Duty. Call of Duty takes years of experience. I've been playing Call of Duty for 12 years. So you do not expect someone who started playing last year to assume that they're going to be better than me. So the two games, what I would say the big difference is, I feel like it's just one, people have grown up on a particular game and they're going to continue. FIFA is an OG game. Obviously, you heard of Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.
Nothing can take that away from Grand Theft Auto. So FIFA is an OG game, and no matter what, you're still going to play the FIFA. But the question is if they are willing to actually leave the FIFA alone and give time to Call of Duty. I don't. If you can play FIFA, you can play Call of Duty. There's not that much difference if you just put your mind to it. That's just how I see it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's an interesting.
That's just how I see it.
That's good information because I think people, once they hear about that, particularly folks who are inclined toward the higher skill level games, where not only do you have to have the physical dexterity, knowing what keys do what, but also you have to begin to strategize with other players about placement, about follow.
Thank you.
Those are interesting. Mm-hmm. Can you talk a little bit more about that and how, and just what the FIFA player was going to have to deal with when they make that transition?
Okay, so a FIFA player is just him and his mindset. He's made the tactics in his head. He knows what he's going to do. Obviously, he's just by himself. But Call of Duty Warzone per se is a team game. It's a team game, meaning that you have to be constantly talking to your players. You're constantly here. You're constantly picking up different information from the game, looking at maps, looking at this, looking at how this happens, look at how this happens, and then it's a lot. I understand why people would be not be interested in the game. The game is a whole lot. It looks like a lot. Teamwork is very, very, very essential because you saying something to your friend, even if you delay something for like a second, it could cost you the whole game, basically. So FIFA is okay. I don't know. I'm not a FIFA person, but I know about this thing called pro clubs where there's like 4 different players on one particular team where they have to control one player, and then you can see how that alone is a lot for players to even do. How much more Call of Duty where everything just so precise. You have, what I can say is that with Call of Duty, you have 0 room for mistakes. That's just how I see it. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It will cost you. FIFA, you can, make a mistake. They'll take the ball back from you. You can take it back. Now, with Call of Duty, you have 0. You can't make any mistake because one mistake will cost you the whole game. Right. That's just it.
Right. Yeah, a mistake in Call of Duty, this first-person shooter game, is and you're dead, and you have to wait. They literally make you wait for 15, 20 minutes before you can get back in the game.
Exactly.
So a lot of anxiety there, right?
A lot of anxiety, and then it's a battle royale game. You see, battle royale games are slowly becoming the future of games that are going to, they're just slowly becoming the future because obviously, I don't know if you know what a battle royale game is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
100 people go into a game, and then if you die, that's it. So already that whole idea that once you die is done for you, you're already nervous. You do not want to die. You do not. So that alone can cause nervous breakdowns. Your hands are shaking. You can't think. You don't want to make a mistake. You can't do this. Your heart is beating. So it's actually a lot. And with Call of Duty, aside the fact that it's a team game, your individual skill as a person in the team matters.
Yes.
Your individual skill as a person in the team matters because.
Do you guys break it down in terms of roles? And can you talk about give us a sense what those roles are?
When I play Call of Duty with my friends are obviously really, really good as well. We do not necessarily have like conversations because individually we are all good by ourselves. So no, me when I play with my friends, we don't have conversations. But I've seen streams of people I know, and then they literally plan. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'll do that. I'll do this. I'll do that. I can't. I don't do that. I don't do any of that.
You guys don't have people somebody who does sniper, somebody who does reconnaissance.
Yes. Okay. Oh, when you mean it like that. So, Isaac, obviously. Isaac is a gamer. Isaac is a sniper. When I play with Isaac is a sniper. That's his job. He likes to snipe. He can do that. I'm a very erratic person. I don't think. I just go in because I have this idea that what if I go into this fight, I'm definitely going to win this fight. So I'm just going. That's just me. I don't even care about wins at the point. I stopped caring about wins. I just enjoyed killing people in the video game. That's just how it is. But people have this whole thing that have an AR, they have this. I can't describe Warzone in that sense, but I can describe Call of Duty League. Mm-hmm. COD League is 4v4. That's a very strategic. Forget Warzone. That is what the pros are playing, and that you can say each player has a particular role that they cannot mess up.
Mm-hmm.
There's a player that's an AR main. They call them an AR main, an assault rifle main. They have an SMG main. They have an anchor, and they have a sub. Now, an anchor's job is to just be at the back and hold the whole team's composure. Basically, that's his job. Now, a submachine player just goes in to do the work. That's just it. That's his job. He doesn't go back to defend. He's like a striker. He doesn't go back to do anything. That's his job, is just to go inside and kill. An anchor's job is just to stay behind and just watch. The support is just to stay and support an anchor when they need him, or support the other one when the guy needs him. So with Call of Duty League, that you cannot be erratic in that game at all. You cannot. No, man. Yeah. There's just a lot about Call of Duty that I can't put 12 years of what I've experienced or 10 years into just like a few words. You have to, after every game, you have to take what experience you see from that game onto the next, and then take that onto the next, and take that onto the next.
Nice.
But
let's talk a little bit about the industry. This, in terms of this, esports has become, and certainly in the West, and in Southeast Asia, places like South Korea, Vietnam, Taiwan, this is becoming a big business. It's gone from young kids being in their basement playing video games, which essentially, and big brands catching on to how intense the audiences were for those gamers, and all of a sudden, you've got multi-million-dollar prizes, and it's an industry now. They're treating it like some people are treating it like they have a Man United franchise. Can you talk a bit about how that has impacted your business and what's going on in the Ghanaian scene?
There's not a solid esports team in Ghana that I know that plays. I've heard of Gamers Republic GR. They mainly play FIFA. And that's totally fine. And that brings me back to where I said earlier on that as in this industry, if you're in Ghana and you do intend to take esports to a different level, you need to put the FIFA down. You need to put the FIFA down, because now the top games, the top teams, even Shopify has made an esports team to play FPS games. FPS games. What should I tell you? Esports team, even they've even done to the point where esports rewards are going to be Bitcoin.
That's right.
Esports is going to be such a big thing. It will be a big thing. The prize pools are ridiculous. $10 million prize pool, $8 million prize pool, this million. No, it's not. So if Ghana don't, a lot of other teams in Nigeria, Uganda, they have big esports team there. Ghana, we don't have one. I don't know if it's because nobody wants to, or sometimes I feel like Ghana, there's a bit of seriousness. There isn't a bit of seriousness when it comes to the esports team. But
that sounds like an opportunity to me. Looks like we need to do a couple of, have you on, we'll stream some Call of Duty tutorials so people can get a better understanding what they're doing, and see what comes out of that. See what some of the community that's watching us. We've got over 3,000 subscribers right now, and you might be getting interested in something like this. That looks like an opportunity from that perspective.
Yeah, I can see that, because I run a Warzone group, like a WhatsApp group with over 250 players.
Nice.
So there is talent. There are players. But the question is, how far are you willing to take this? How far are they willing to take this whole gaming thing?
Well, let's break that down a little bit, because from an industry perspective, there's two things that you can be in this space, which is, one is a gamer, and which you would have to, I imagine, depend on sponsorship and tournament winnings. And the other one is streamer, where I guess you're more your own gameplay and personality can really dictate how big your audience is. Can you talk about those two, the difference between the two?
I would call myself a gamer and a streamer, and I have made quite a quite a number of money from tournaments and streaming. I stream on Twitch. Um, and now it's so. You see, this is what I was talking to somebody about the other time. Everyone sees, obviously, people watch me, KB, the watch this, the watch that, and people don't know that the only reason I'm getting, it's not even a lot of attention. The only reason I'm getting this much attention is just because of my statistics in the game, where I've gotten to in the game. That's the only reason why people are looking at me. Because it's on rare occasions where you see that, oh, somebody from Ghana is top 10 players in the whole of Africa. That's the only reason people are watching. So an average player would like people. Okay, I watch video games. Give me one good reason why I should come into your stream and watch you. That's just that. So people come into my stream. Oh, okay, he has this amount of kills. This is where he is in the leaderboard. Oh, let me see what he has to offer. That's the only reason people know me as, oh yeah, KB, 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 KB. And my streaming career style of me, basically, I just enjoy video games. I don't stream because I want to make money off it. I just genuinely enjoy streaming. I genuinely entertaining people, and that's just how it's been. But yes, tournament earnings have been there. Streaming, Twitch earnings have been there. Yeah. So, but I feel like
So break it down a little.
I'm trying
to folks out there. What does it take to actually start winning money in some of these tournaments, particularly from Africa, where we always hear about the connectivity problems? How have you gotten around that, and
oh my
what are they dealing with?
man, the more better I got at the game, the more upset I got about internet. About when there's so many factors that makes a player beat you in a close quarters 1v1. Just say you and him. There's so many factors that can make you win or make him win. But when you remove all those factors, let's say all those factors. One, I have a PC, so yes, I'm playing on the very very best of performance. Right, I'm good at the game. If not, probably better than the average player. And the only reason, and you in London, you are closer to the servers. There's something called ping. It shows how quickly you send information and receive information from the server. When you're in London, the server, there are no servers in Africa. None. There are no servers in Africa. And I understand because it takes a lot of money to actually manage servers. But you're in London, we connect to London servers, and it takes 150 milliseconds for us to send information back. Now, if you play FPS games, 150 seconds is a lot. It is a lot. It is a lot. So they in London, they take 25 milliseconds to connect to the server, and you are taking times 5 of that to connect to the server.
Wow.
And it hasn't been easy because at the point I've gone, so I don't even complain about internet anymore. I've gotten the best of internet in Ghana, and I just realized that it can never be like that. Will servers ever come to Africa? I don't know. I don't expect it anymore. I'm not going to say, well, maybe it's because they don't look at Africans like that. No, I don't think that's the case. But it is a lot to manage a server, millions and millions of dollars.
Well, I think that the other issue too, and I think what we're doing here, you included, with the other 1,000 gamers that are there and potentially part of the sort of on the ground good pressure that we're putting out there, right? We're literally on the ground building the machine as we fly it, and we're doing these things. And I think that as that continues and people are get more and more attracted to the entertainment value in terms, I'm talking about the general market. This becomes more like in the West, more of a consumer product. I think that the servers will be on the heels of that kind of acknowledgement by the larger consumer communities. The bottom line in the West is that the internet is the new TV. There is no more TV. There's no more local news. There's no more local news.
Nope. None of that.
They don't exist anymore. So the internet is it. And so if people want to get to people in the vast internet, they need things that are going to attract folks. And we think that what we're doing with the gaming community all over the world, but specifically right there in Ghana,
is going to be part of what consumers consume in terms of their diet of entertainment. And the more we do what we are doing, providing these streams where they get to know people, they get to experience as you say, the excitement of being in a one-on-one Call of Duty and in a shootout, and your pulse is racing. And I think they'll begin to recognize the entertainment value, and those audiences will grow. And with the audience growth will come businesses who are interested in talking with those audiences, interested in selling those audiences products. The whole market for consumer goods, it will be impacted by what we do here. So this is not a small thing, I think. And can you talk about a little bit about what you've seen throughout Ghana as it relates to industry building?
I see a lot of efforts with the industry. They host tournaments and they put prize pools and all of that. You see that's once again, back to what I said, it just depends on how serious they want to take this. That's just how I see it. It just, at the end of the day, it really just boils down to how serious you really want to take this. Also, a lot of young gamers right now, it's so hard to convince an African parent why they should let you play video games. They don't see anything good for you with video games. There's just the typical, I want my son to be a doctor, I want my son to be a this, I want my son to be a, but there's talent in Ghana. I'm not even saying that, I'm not even saying let your son be a programmer, but just there's money to be made from that. If you see your son is good at that, there's money to be made from that. So that's one thing. That's for the player side. The player side, having that support internally is also a big thing. But from the industry, man, it's just so difficult because if you tell me where I see the industry going right now, I actually do not know. That's what I'm saying. It all boils down to how serious they want to take this. If I'm just waiting for an actual serious esports team to actually come together and say, hey, look, I want to own an esports team. And trust me, they would actually be really good at it. They'll actually flourish.
What do you think it would take to get a good team together out of the people that exist there? What kind of resources you guys need to get and compete in the tournaments that are the kind of things that would make this make most parents say, wow, this is
okay, so come home with money. That's literally that's the only way I actually got my parents to understand or to just leave me alone when it comes to video games. Come home with earnings. Yeah, African parent, oh yeah, this thing doesn't give you game. Mommy, this is how much I made from it. It's so little, might be $20, $30, $40. Just come home with money. That's just the way. That's just literally just it. Right. So with tournaments, win your tournaments. Are you good at the game? Yes. Okay, so win your tournaments, basically. That's just how I see it. Right. Just come home with money, and your parents should not have an issue. Honestly.
Right.
Yeah.
So what has been some of your personal highlights in the gaming world?
Ooh. Which is like Ghana, as me, like what I've done. Yeah, personal highlights.
Exactly. Give me a personal highlight.
I started so from Fortnite. That's when I started getting recognition from Fortnite. I was the top player in West Africa as well for Fortnite. I moved from Fortnite to Apex, and I had the top. I was the top as well in Apex, but for only Ghana. And then I moved to Warzone. But my highlights have been, I think one of my personal highlights was I went against like an actual famous streamer, like a famous streamer, and I destroyed him. And I could see he made such a good comment, like, "Whoa, wait, what? Is he actually from Africa?" And that thing pisses me a lot. It pisses me when they say, "Oh, Africans, they play video games. Oh, wait, they have internet." It pisses me so much because how backwards do you think we are? How backwards do you think we are? Like, and then there was a tournament that happened of like, I think 300 players, and my team was the only African team. I think Isaac sets it up for me. My team was the only African team. And we came second. We lost by a kill. We lost by 1 point. We lost by 1 point. So the broadcaster is he's moving from streams to streams, and he comes into my stream and he sees top 1 player West Africa. And he's just there watching the whole time. Wait, he's from West Africa. And they look at the leaderboards and we are second. And you see them, wow, I can't believe this team from Africa is doing good. But what's that supposed to mean? Right. But it is a personal highlight. Like I've won money. For video games, your personal highlights are just what I just feel like it's just what you've just accomplished or what you've done from the whole gaming career. But I've had some good personal highlights, winning tournaments, winning my first ever tournaments, constantly being on top. The only thing holding me back to really excel to my true form is my internet. If there was servers in Ghana, or if I moved to the UK or moved and I had exact same, I was the same connection as everyone else, I feel like that's when I really see the true me, basically. But that's just it.
Well, I think that brings us to our kind of wrapping up time. So, I don't know, give me a sense of what you see for yourself in the next few years in gaming and maybe personally as well.
What I see for myself, I'm starting a business. My business revolves around my video game, so I'm not really straying afar from my video games because I really, really like my video games. So in the future, I see myself making more, eventually being actually, I want to represent Africa in anything I do. I want to represent Ghana. I want people to come in and say, oh, okay, there's actually some really, really good players in Africa. Eventually, I want to bring more light to the gaming industry in Africa. I want parents to see that playing video games might not be as bad as you think it is. But me personally, I want to take my streaming more seriously. I want to get into more content creating, which I don't do. I don't make YouTube videos. I just stream. So I want to make more YouTube videos. I want to go into more content creation. I want to play more tournaments. Just basically win some more money. That's just it. That's just it.
Amen, brother. Well, listen, we're out here. We're on the ground. It's a pleasure working with you, man. We've been what we did with as you say, we're trying to get people to take it serious because this is a serious industry that is evolving around us, and all we got to do is catch up because that train is moving.
Catch up, exactly. Yeah. His train is moving fast.
Be okay. Man. Thanks for spending time with us. Look forward to talking some more.
All right, thank you so much, man. Nice to meet you. Guys, thank you for tuning in. This is Kobachi Banks. You can catch me live on twitch.tv/thekb5.